to talk about in this video is about race, quote unquote race, because one thing I've learned in my 53 years of living, and I'm so thankful that I've learned it, none of us are crayons. Our parents weren't crayons for sure, and we're not crayons. There's no such thing as black and white and brown and yellow and all that crap. The only thing there is you're tied to your country, basically. Whatever country you've sworn allegiance to, or you are a citizen of. Like for example, I'm an American, 100% American, and the reason I bring this up is because there are a lot of people on this earth that use race as a crutch. There's others that use race, a color, as a crutch, basically, skin tone as a crutch. And there's others that use skin tone as a way of making profit. There are a lot of people that use skin tone and have used it to create a very nice living for themselves and their descendants. There's also what I call, or other people call, poverty pimps. That's what I mean by people who've made a very nice living. And not just poverty pimps, there's quote unquote white racists too. Skinheads, KKK, all those leaders, they've made a very nice live. The leaders have made a very nice living for themselves. And the thing is there's no such thing as a crayon. We're all human. Um, in our country, in America, there have been attempts by communists basically to use this race thing in our past and America's past to try to split us apart. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to share this with you, is because as you know, as I shared in my previous video, I've been all over the globe. And one thing is for sure, when you go to another country, they're going to know what country you're from. Like, I'm an American. Everywhere I've been, they always knew I was an American. They never mistook me for anything else. Even when I went to Africa, right away, right off the plane, they knew who I was, where I was from. And they started trying to practice their English with me. So that goes to tell you. And I'm sure I'm just using it for educational purposes, other Black American that has been to Africa, they'll tell you the exact same thing. As soon as you get off the plane, they know who you are. Just like when Africans come to America, Native Africans come to America, we know who they are right off the bat. You know, when I went to Europe, uh, quote unquote white Americans, when they went over there, I knew who they were. They were different. We have a different shine to us. Each country has a little different shine to them, and you know who they're from, what country they're from. Like me, I know the difference between Koreans and Japanese and Chinese, Okinawans, Filipinos, Vietnamese, Laotians, and all the differences. But like I said, it's just only depends on what country you're from. You should never look at anything as black, white, yellow, brown, because the main thing is race doesn't make you. The skin tone doesn't make you. What you're born with doesn't make you. It doesn't make you special. It doesn't make you less than. What makes you is what you've done with yourself. And you can do anything in this world that you put your mind to doing. Please don't let people, which they're always trying to do, use race as a tool to use you. You know, we had a movement here, Black Lives Matter, and at the core of it, it was just another attempt at the communists to infiltrate and put a little poison in America's water, for lack of a better phrase. And as time goes on, we're starting to learn more and more. Just like there were good civil rights movements, but all civil rights movements were not good. Some were just basically undercover attempts at communists to try to infiltrate into America. And they were using us, like I said, this is for educational references, black people, to do that. They were just using us as tools, just like in Cuba. Black people were used as tools during the revolution. As soon as the revolution was over and Fidel took over, blacks were just treated worse than they were before. And to that, till today, they still are. When I was young, um, I used to be that pro-black, this, that, and the other. Luckily, I was, because that's when I learned people who do that are probably be the worst people that you'll ever meet. They're going to take advantage of you, backstab you, do all kinds of dirty stuff. They're not good people. Anyone that uses race, white, black, same thing when I was growing up. When I was an adult, during my younger years, they'd be white for the white power and stuff, and they screw each other over. They screw over the next quote unquote white person in a heartbeat. Spanish, same thing. Blacks, it didn't matter. Anybody who used that race stuff usually turned out to be a snake, and they were a loser on top of that. And the good people, the successful people, they didn't care about skin tone. They just cared about who the person was. And throughout my lifetime, I've learned that the majority of successful people could care less about your skin tone. Also, what I've learned traveling the world is, they try to put in your head that people are racist and people care about race, this, that, and the other. No, they don't. As I traveled the globe, nobody gave a shit about my skin tone. When I lived in Japan, nobody gave a shit about my skin tone. They're busy living their life, okay? Think about it. Everybody's got bills, kids, or if they're single, they still got bills. You got goals you're trying to reach, car payments, just trying to survive, just trying to grow and build your own life. Who has time for that crap, for hate? When I went to Japan, I was young and I thought, all that poison in my mind that had been put in my mind over time about black and white. And I went over there thinking everybody was going to be racist, and I'm being angry and, what are you talking about? Then as time went on, I learned these people, the people didn't give a shit. They didn't give a shit about my color. All they cared about was if I was a human being or not, if I was going to be an asshole or not. That's all they cared about. And eventually, as I calmed myself down and got to my senses and stopped being an asshole, everybody was great to me. Wonderful. I have children that are half Japanese, and their grandparents have treated them 1,000 times better than their quote unquote black parents ever did. Grandparents love them to death. Do anything in the world, spoil them rotten. Love them to death. And by the time I got all this poison out of my head, we had already moved out of Japan. So that is one thing I wish, is that I had kept my kids over there longer so they could spend more time with their grandparents, their Japanese grandparents that really do love them. And that's another reason I'm sharing this with you, because I know there's people like me in Japan or in Korea and stuff like that wanting to get home, wanting their kids to see the other side of the family, but you really have to sit down and consider and take the advice from me. Really think about what you're bringing them back home to and what do they have over there. And as far as I'm concerned, if you come from places like I do, you know good and well that they're better off over there with those grandparents in Asia or Europe than they are back home. I met a lot of people like me all over the globe, and they stayed over there for the sake of their children, and they don't regret it. And I applaud them for that, because their children were better off over there because of their grandparents and their family over there on the other side of the globe, wherever in the world. So that is one thing. And like I said, you got to look at people as human beings. I've been to the Gulf nations, they're all friendly. Nobody cares about race. You got to look at yourself as a human being from wherever country you're from. Like I said, I'm an American. And this is out for all the black, quote, black quote unquote black and white Americans and Asian Americans and all that stuff. If you were born and raised in America and you love American food and American culture, where you grew up, you're an American. That's the first thing they're going to see. Even for the Asian Americans, they go back to Asia, they stick out. Everybody knows they're from the States, from the U.S. We're all part of our country, be it America, South America, Canada, Japan, Korea, China, Germany, France, wherever you're from, that's who you are. That's who you should identify as. Don't let people take advantage of you and make you think that you're something different, like you're a whole different species because of your skin tone, like they're totally different. It's bull garbage. You are a human freaking being, and it's okay if you don't like being around people that are the same skin tone as you. That's fine. That's your prerogative. You don't have to be ashamed of that. Just be around good people, no matter what their skin tone is. But don't let people lock you down and make you think you're obligated to them because of skin tone. You're not. You're a human being. That's it. You're a human being. There'll be more of this. I just wanted to put this out there because it's been really grinding at me for a long, long time. And like I said, one of the biggest mistakes I ever made in my life was bringing my oldest children out of Japan to bring them to the States, thinking it would be better over here. Their quote unquote black family would be better, and that was not the case. I wish I would just kept them in Japan with their Japanese side because they really loved them. But like I said, I had that black and white poison in my mind. Bring them over there so they can learn the black culture and all that crap. But they love it here in the States. They're doing very well. I'm very proud of them, all of them. They're college graduates. They're doing fine. One's not a college graduate, but he's doing fine. Couldn't ask for better. They're one step above me. I never finished college. They did. They finished college. They're college graduates, and they're doing great. I couldn't ask for better children. They're being a blessing. And I recently had one from the Philippines, and he's there now. And he's with his grandparents and his mother. I will bring them all here soon, but I will not separate them. I'm gonna make sure his grandmother comes here too, so he'll have that. But what I want, what I want you to do is concentrate in your life on getting black and white out of your mind. If you meet a person and they're an asshole, don't automatically assume they're an asshole because of your skin tone. Don't think that. It's okay for them to be an asshole if they want to be. It probably has got nothing to do with your skin tone. Don't just start to concentrate in your mind to get skin tone out of your vocabulary, out of your mind. You're an American, you're Chinese, you're whatever your country is based on, that's who you are. And once you stop seeing things through a black and white lens or a color tone lens, your world is going to be a lot better and you're going to have a lot more opportunity in life. And when you do, there's going to be others. There's going to be them snakes that's going to try to obligate you to skin tone. Don't listen to that garbage. You go ahead and be a human being and be with whomever you choose. As long as they're good people and they treat you like you want to be, like you treat them like you want to be treated, and they treat you like you want to be treated. Everything's fine. And believe me, 99% of this globe, people are worried. Even in the Arab world, they're so nice and friendly. Don't let Hollywood fool you and think they're all mean and hard. It's nothing like that. They're very, very friendly people. And especially in the Arab world where skin tones are out of this world. You'll see an Arab guy and he have blue eyes and red hair. He'll blow you out the water. I saw it. But you talk to him, I think he's Kuwaiti, you know. Met Iraqi, same thing, blonde hair, you know. Uh, in Japan, I met, quote unquote, well, Japanese people, quote unquote, kinky hair with the natural black people hair. In Korea, same thing. Like I said, and the thing is nobody cares about the skin tone. It's all from the country. You know, in America, people have put in our minds so much about skin tone. It's out of this world. You know, they act like black is a different species than white. We're all the same. And when you come down to it, we all like the same foods. We all like the same music. Our customs are the same. Our religions are the same. We're Americans. That's it, plain and simple. And hopefully one day we'll realize that. And when we use skin tone, it'll just be to describe somebody because, you know, for whatever purpose, if you're looking for them or something like that. But trust me when I say nobody give two shits about your skin tone. You go, you do what you want to do, live your life, because you'll see everybody else is living their life and they don't have time to be stuck thinking about XYZ. They're trying to live their life and you should live yours. Don't let people put crayon poison in your mind. Everybody's a human being. You just think about the country they're from. That's it. If you want to, you know, refer to them. But other than that, don't use black and white. Well, that's it for now. I'll try to get better at this, and I'll be going over things again, and I have a lot more to share. But for right now, that's it. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of the night. Take care.